unpredictable and therefore challenging. I think in India we've handled those issues which are unpredictable, inclusive of the monsoon, inclusive of unseasonal weather vagaries, over the years very well, not just now. So we've handled the lessons learnt from them in every government's own way of handling inflation or supply side problems. So those lessons are always there, and that helps you to handle uncertainties within the country. But what we don't have as a prescription before us, particularly post the pandemic, post the war, post the repeat occurrence of the virus, is we don't have a template before us. And what we went through, together with the wisdom of the people and also the counsel of so many different people, is probably going to be the template we have before us, however recent past it may refer to. So that is the challenge. I think all of us will have to keep ourselves ready. And the changes abroad, the recession abroad, or the slowing economy abroad, are all going to be the challenge for the Indian exporters. So the Indian exporters will have to be far more receptive of what is happening there, or even foresee how that will pan out for them, and keep constantly engaging with the government. Otherwise, at a time when our exporters are really readying themselves to be on their toes, such challenges can really demotivate them, if I can use a softer word. And as regards the imports, Sumant also spoke about it. We cannot really be inward looking, saying Atmanirbhar and therefore I won't allow you to import. There are several of our MSMEs and also large manufacturers who still need those critical components to come from somewhere else. We have kept ourselves completely aware of it. In fact, the way in which I have spent this year's preparation and also the last year's preparation for the budget has been to go item wise on customs duty. Item wise, and that is why we were able to bring it down in about 18-20 categories, and we very clearly said we will keep that momentum and we'll follow that process of where it is possible to reduce without hurting an Indian industry which needs it. We will bring it down. At the same time, keep very close watch on flooding or surge in any kind of imported goods. The surge sometimes hurt us. Even if the surge was only for 3 months, it can hurt us for a whole year. So there is a very keen eye being kept for what is happening at our borders in terms of exports and in terms of the imports. So nowhere are we blanket taking a position. We are looking at specific items to see which are going to be continuously needed for the next few years and which are going to hurt us. On hurt, those which cause hurt, we are ready to act. So I would appeal to the industry to be a lot more critical of your own assessment of what's happening in the market, both the Indian and abroad, and keep us informed, saying you don't have to worry about this particular thing because this is where it is, or you'll need to be worried about certain thing because that's going to flood us. So that kind of constant input giving to the government will help us.
Okay, we'll certainly look at doing that, ma'am. Although I must say that you didn't answer the personal question part. As with I think Ajay, what was your question was about what are the I think the personal learnings, of course, you talked about, but I think what he was referring to also is any other kind of learnings as finance minister beyond just the professional part.
Oh, this one. To listen is a big learning.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And I think in India, it is a quality worth cultivating.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well said. Great. Thank you.
And I can vouch for
Sanjay.
this. She's listened to us so much and been so gracious with her time. Unfortunately, I come from a stress sector, so we've spoken to her a lot about it, and she's listened to us a lot.
It's Sanjay.
Not really. I was just, there's not much to ask. I would just want to congratulate you on the way you have kept SOPs under control. I think it's fantastic. In a year that would have been otherwise called electoral year, so thank you for that. And secondly, I must congratulate you on the level of detail that you go into, both in the facts and the analysis. But I have one question. What will be your wish list from the private sector? Because your government is doing what it can in terms of allocating so much towards capital expenditure. And I think, we all need two hands to clap. So maybe it's not a well-framed question, but I think I'm leading to a point as to what would you want from the other hand who needs to clap with you.
There's nothing that I can say now. All that I have to say I've said over the period, to the extent that the media, some in the opposition are repeatedly quoting it. Said, you said this to the industry. So I don't want to repeat myself. I think I've said everything that I want to say already.
Okay, good. Thank you. Vineet Agarwal, Co-Chair, National Council on Direct Taxes, Assocham, and Group Head of JSW. So just be pointed in your question and keep it brief, please. Thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon, ma'am. Actually, my question should have started with congratulating, but Sanjay has done that. I'm just straight coming to your pet issue of infrastructure spending, and government has already planned for 10 lakh crores for infrastructure and another 3.5 lakh crores through state grants. The other question is like what the other hand is going to do is industry. What the industry is supposed to make a lot of capex in its capacity building, which is going to support this capital infrastructure as well as also to support the capital infrastructure itself. Now, ma'am, I don't know whether it's unintentional or something that the borrowing cost has become costly by a small missing in the budget this year. There is a particular clause of 194 LC and LD, which gives a concessional rate of 5% on the all the long-term overseas borrowing. Ma'am, you know that there is very less availability of capital for all those large spendings in India because of all those sectoral exposures in the banking system. So when we borrow, there's a reduced rate because all these foreign taxes are to be borne by the Indian borrower. And if this 5% rate is reduced and then we go for that regular rate of 20%, it becomes about 28% after grossing up. So the cost of borrowing, which it goes like on the roof, and suddenly the capital has become like unviable. So any thought on that side, ma'am?
Question?
This is the question, ma'am, because of the expansion. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, ma'am.
So from 1st April, that is subject to this budget getting passed. From 1st April, you're saying that the cost of borrowing, particularly from abroad, is going to go up.
Yes.
From 1st April?
From 1st of July, ma'am.
Sorry?
1st of July. Because up to 30th June, the provisions are...
No, that's all right. Okay. 1st of July, 2023. Sorry to repeat like this. From 1st July 2023, it's going to be more expensive. So, indicating that people who wanted to come in with expansion plans, greater investment, are going to be hurt by that, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Probably I've answered it. From 1st July.
No, it's not
Yeah.
necessary, ma'am, but the borrowings will start from there.
Earlier,
Yeah.
it wasn't that, right?
Yeah, we were, for last 8 or 9 years, it's like this.
Investments happened.
Okay.
I hope, ma'am, it's happening. Yeah, a lot of...
So,
yeah.
lots of investments happened, and now from 1st July, it's going to be difficult.
Ma'am,
Okay,
it becomes costlier, yeah.
I think you've asked the question. Now, please do sit down and move on to other people. Ma'am, should we take 2-3 questions at the same time? Yeah. And until how much time could you be with us? Okay.
6:15 is the flight, and I'll come back up and
Oh, okay. So just tell us 2:15.
you leave me, sorry?
3:15. Sorry, 5:15 should we say, or is that will be too late? Okay. So another 10 minutes. Okay, fine. Thanks. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll take 2-3 questions at the same time. Dr. Charan Singh, and then after that Vivek Srivastav of Vari. So if you guys can just be very quick with your questions so we can get as many as we can possibly.
Honorable Minister, as an economist, I must congratulate you on the journey that you have taken the country on fiscal policy. The transparency that you brought in, despite domestic and global challenges, the fiscal consolidation path that you retained and the adjustment that you did on the revenue deficit is something for the world to really see and learn from. Honorable Minister, I was wondering, how are you going to showcase to the world this successful journey that you have taken so that the world recognizes, despite all odds, starting from COVID, we have retained #1 growth position in the world? Thank you.
Actually, if you don't mind, I'll just quickly respond to that, because that is a call for action, I would think. Because not just the government speaking any amount about it, how we handle the COVID, how vaccination, how Atmanirbhar, how, giving impetus to the states for spending, how revenue buoyancy. Government talking about it any number of times will not have the same impact as, I would think, industry talking to industry of different areas, different countries, your partners, your friends, your associates, industry to industry, business to business talk should include what were the various things that India did. And in that, all of you were partners. It's not just the government. Industry, common people, businesses, teachers, lawyers, doctors, everyone participated in this unbelievable 2.5 years of work. At the same time, keep yourself safe and protected. It's an unusual, I know our media friends are here, but it can always be twisted into something else, saying, oh, the finance minister said success story. But unusual, and I'm saying with conscious, it's a success story of the people of India, as to how they came together and they were able to achieve something, although they were each one of them exposed to the risk of the pandemic. But still, it's a story for India to say. It's an India story. No one particular person or government or state or anybody can take that credit individually. It's a wonderful story of India, and that's got to be said.
Apologies for that, ma'am. Thank you for your stewardship of Make in India, Atmanirbharta, and the energy security, the Swavlamban. There are a few things, pointers for this to further accelerate the glide path towards becoming more energy security in terms of the green path green growth that you have spoken about. Basically relating to local manufacturing, which the medium sector industries like us are trying to enter into. One is a request for consistency in the wonderful policies and the approach path. It has taken a lot of time for investor confidence to come into this sector after several years of flip-flops. But certain measures like, we've been hearing and pronunciations, as you rightly said, it has to be a calibrated measure about what gets imported, what gets exported when. But after 3 years of flip-flops, this was implemented in October. And the request is that, recalling that and saying that it will be done again after 2 years will completely sound the death knell for local manufacturing. It has taken us a lot to go from 10 gigawatt to 38 gigawatt this year. And that's a request that if it can be reconsidered. Second is we are in a zone where the world is affording us an opportunity, as you rightly mentioned, where it is not just China +1, it is actually beyond that, 1 plus China. And it is the right time to look at some export incentives also for this sector. Otherwise, the ASEAN countries and few others would take that step. So that's something that would help us. And in doing this, because this is smaller players who are coming in, beyond PLI, I can assure you if there is an element of capital subsidy, it would pay us well, and some tax rebates. Because this is a very capital intensive sector when we go to backward integration, not just the last mile. Thank you very much.
Okay. Would you like to let me just go to a couple of Preeti Malhotra. Chairperson, Smart Bharat Group.
Thank you so much. Ma'am, my question pertains to steps being taken to bring in more foreign investment into India. While FDI has been increasing consistently, but India can still raise much more FDI to fund its infrastructure and other developmental activities, especially if we want to make India a developed nation by 2047. Foreign investors, and here I'm especially speaking about PIOs, OCIs, they're committed to India. They want to invest in India, bring in capital, bring in technology, generate more employment, income, consequently pay more taxes in India. But their issue is that they don't want to be taxed on their global income. If they want to invest in India, they want to stay for extended periods of time in India. But if they stay for extended periods of time beyond the prescribed limit, they have to pay taxes on their global income. And if you refer to certain research reports, including an EY report, China did a policy change in 1994, consequent to which they had huge foreign investment coming in from Chinese settled overseas. And similarly, Singapore, they made a change, they tweaked the policy and had a policy change in 2002, and it became a regional hub for Asia, as a commercial regional hub for, in Asia. And also a lot of foreign conglomerates set up their offices in Singapore. Can these foreign investors, and I'm here especially speaking about PIOs and OCIs, look at some attractive measures for ease of living? Thank you.
Ma'am, and we'll take just one last question. Manish Agarwal, Chairman of Assocham National Council on Power and CEO Sterlite Power. He's not here? Okay. Shantanu Bhadkamkar, Chairman Maharashtra State Council and MD ATC Group. Yeah, just keep your question brief, please.
Yes. Madam, thanks for good budget. We are talking about India being Vishwa Guru. So any impetus for innovation and original research?
That's fine. They almost as though they are things for me to work on.
Okay.
So this.
Okay, then let's go forward. Vinod Kumar Agarwal, Chairman GR Infrastructure.
Thank you, ma'am. I, on behalf of Vinod Kumar Agarwal, I am representing the Vinod Kumar Agarwal. I'll be raising, my some suggestion, or it's related to that taxation amendment which has been brought into that InvIT mechanism, ma'am. It's where debt repayment has been, is being taxed, getting taxed under income from other sources. There, our suggestion would be it can be taxed under capital gain or something like this.
On the insurance, you mean?
InvIT, that is InvIT.
Okay, fine. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's just go for one last question, and then, ma'am, we can wrap up after that.